This is CBC Here and Now.
Welcome to a slightly shorter, slightly later version of Here and Now. We're delayed tonight because of the Rugby Sevens World Cup. So let's get going. Flags at government buildings are at half-mast today to mark the death of Queen Elizabeth.
She was a constant figure through almost like a world of change over the past 70 years.
Young people, they don't really give too much thought about it. For me, I just think it's interesting to be, because big part of history she is.
A book of condolences has been laid out at Government House in St. John's for the public to leave messages. That book will be available daily from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock, right up until the Queen's funeral on the 19th.
I too now solemnly pledge myself, throughout the remaining time God grants me, to uphold the constitutional principles at the heart of our nation. And wherever you may live in the United Kingdom, or in the realms and territories across the world, and whatever may be your background or beliefs, I shall endeavor to serve you with loyalty, respect, and love.
And that was just part of King Charles' address today from the drawing room at Buckingham Palace, his first public address as king. Before that, Charles made a brief stop outside to speak with mourners and take in some of the tributes left for his late mother. And during her 70-year reign as queen, Elizabeth visited Newfoundland and Labrador 3 times, including a stop in Sheshashee and Northwest River. Elizabeth Panashaway says she's always been fascinated by the monarch. She still remembers the joy she brought when the queen posed for pictures with children and elders.
And the queen, she came right inside my tent. Oh my God, I was so happy. I was very, very happy. Oh my. And then she shake the hands, all the children, the young children, shake your hand. And then he went around my tent, shake hands with old people. And that picture, she looks very happy, that old lady I got had the picture. She looks very happy. Oh my God, a queen.
Well, in other news, the operator of the Come By Chance Refinery has pushed operations back another week. Brea Renewable Fuels has set September 19th as the new date to resume work. Last Friday's explosion and flash fire injured 8 employees and brought work to a halt. The company says 5 people are still in hospital and 3 have been released. The union says employees won't return to work until an investigation is completed. Well, it's being considered a win for salmon preservation across the province. DFO's Fishery Guardians program has been extended by 4 weeks. Guardians are contract workers hired during the salmon angling season to deter poaching. Here Now's Troy Turner reports.
There's a quiet calm on the lower Humber today. It's one of the few salmon rivers to remain open this time of year for catch and release only. Anglers try their luck. It's not peak season, but a great escape for a few hours. This month, however, expect to see more guardians on rivers throughout the province.
As a federal government, we're responsible to manage the resource. We should do the best job we can to do that, and that means to make sure people are in place, to make sure people are obeying the rules and taking the bag limit that they're allowed, whether it's catch and release or whether it's retention. And I'm glad to see that Minister Murray has decided to extend that by 4 weeks.
It's welcome news for the Anglers Association, SPAWN. They've been calling for an extended season for guardians for years.
Illegal activities can take 50, 60, 100 fish a night out with a net. So, if you can prevent one net from going in a river by having a guardian program ship, and that river has probably 800 fish running in it, that's very impactful.
By extending the existing program, McCarthy says it's a great start.
What this does is put people on the rivers that are closed. The river we're on right here is open till October, but most angling rivers are closed September the 7th. So fish are still there. And the fish are still there 2 weeks prior. Our suggestion would be maybe continue what they're doing here and probably put the guardians on 2 weeks prior.
The next step, he says, is for people to do their part in reporting poaching.
You're either part of the solution or part of the problem, as I see it. If you see somebody at illegal activities, contact a group like ours, contact DFO, and just let them know, that there's something happening there.
So what about next season? Like the anglers on the river, Ken McDonald hopes DFO will extend the Guardian program again next year. Troy Turner, CBC News, Corner Brook.
There you go.
Labrador's first fast charger for electric vehicles was officially unveiled today in Happy Valley Goose Bay. It's part of the Take Charge electric vehicle charging network. The station will allow drivers to charge a vehicle in 45 minutes or less. 2 other charging stations in Churchill Falls and Labrador City are expected to be operational within the next few weeks.
So as we've been talking about all week, Hurricane Earl is going to make its way up towards us. We've been looking at this tracker for a while. Now it will be downgraded, or it's expected to be downgraded by the time it reaches us. But as you can see here, as it gets closer, it's going to start Saturday night, but it's going to bring a lot of rain to the island of the eastern part of the island of Newfoundland, and it's going to bring high winds as well, anywhere between 40 to 80 millimeters on the northern end of the Avalon, and we could see wind gusts of 110 kilometers an hour. I'll have more coming up later on in the show.
Well, after more than a decade, the Colonial building is officially opening its doors to visitors. Here now's Henrika Wilhelm takes us inside the renovated space.
It's been a long time coming, and we're quite proud of how it turned out.
It used to look like this, but now the wait is over. The Colonial building's costly restoration started in 2009 and included a complete renovation, both inside and out.
It's really interesting to try to figure out the hand of the artisan that originally did the work. So that's part of the kind of detective work that I like to do. We started off in the council chambers and started on the ceiling. So they had scaffolding put up for us so we could reach the ceiling, and we repaired the artwork by Pindakowski. And then we moved down and did the walls and the wood graining of the windows and the marbling of the columns and the gilding.
For more than a century, the Colonial building was the permanent seat of the provincial government, from 1850 to 1959. Then, in 1974, it was designated a provincial historic site. Plenty of reasons to visit, says Osmond.
We recreated the building to what it was in 1850. It was a showstopper. And our intent was to bring that back. And that's our goal right now, is to bring people in to talk about why the building was built, what it did, but also to show off the incredible architecture.
But it's not been without controversy. Those pricey custom couches, blowback from Indigenous groups for not changing the name. Osmond says part of the new legacy will be sharing stories about Indigenous governance.
We want to work with partners to tell that story in their own voices, because we can't tell, obviously, the story of other people. And the historical facts that we have are starting points.
Due to limited space inside, visitors will have to book a time slot to get a free guided tour to see the renovations themselves. Yeah, and those public tours will start on Tuesday. Henrika Wilhelm, CBC News, St. John's.
Well, the fallout from a historic court decision regarding the Roman Catholic Church continues to unfold. Yesterday, the Archbishop visited some churches in the St. Mary's Bay area where Catholics are coming to grips with a big shakeup in how they practice their faith. Here now's Terry Roberts reports.
It's typically a special occasion when the top minister with the Archdiocese comes to town. But Thursday's visit by Archbishop Peter Hunt to this church in Mount Carmel was hardly a celebration for these Catholics. Like all areas of the Archdiocese, the church's footprint in the St. Mary's Bay area is shrinking significantly, going from 8 churches down to 2. And with so much uncertainty and upheaval underway, the Archbishop visited the area to talk about the new reality. In St. Vincent's in the morning, and here, Our Lady of Mount Carmel in the afternoon. This region is rich in Catholic history, with this church opening in 1883. But an era is ending as churches are sold off in order to raise money for abuse victims. This church has been quiet for months. Not enough money to keep it going. No priest to lead a service. And now, of course, it's for sale. Less than $100,000 for this sacred building. Archbishop, can we have a conversation? Nope. The Archbishop has declined all media requests for months now. Many Catholics are filled with anxiety and disappointment. In fact, healing sessions are planned for next week.
People are feeling betrayed and upset, and it's almost like they've lost a member of their family.
But there's also a sense that change is inevitable.
For many people, it's kind of really, a heartbreak. But at the same point in time, I think the writing is on the wall.
Monetarily, the parish would never be able to keep it going. Not with the amount of people who are attending now, the cost of everything.
The fate of this church, like so many others, is now in the hands of a real estate agent and that person's ability to attract a buyer.
Hopefully, we can accept the way forward for the future and still, be able to keep our faith and value having a church in your area.
It's sad to see that it's our church is gone, but it's the way it has to be, and it's we have to move forward.
And this is the man overseeing it all, trying to shepherd his flock through an unprecedented remake of an archdiocese with more than 2 centuries of history. Terry Roberts, CBC News, Mount Carmel.
The annual Terry Fox Run is almost a week away, and today Fox's brother, Fred, is in the province to promote the run and his brother's legacy.
Terry wrote in his journal that day on April 12th, today is the day it all begins, and he could never have imagined what that would mean today, and this is an important spot in Terry's legacy.
Terry Fox is just so cool, and I think it's great that we were the only class in the whole school and the whole city that got to go here.
I've never met Terry Fox's brother, so I was excited to come meet him, and also I've never been here, so I want, to come here for the first time.
The feeling that I got to be a part of something that had to do with this amazing man was just unbelievably exciting.
He raised money for cancer for us. You probably can't even count how many times we've tried to raise money for the hospital and cancer. We've had so many lemonade stands and everything because we don't think we could run that much. But
he was a really good person, and it was just exciting.
When I was diagnosed in 2003, the survival rate was 80%, and now 18 years later it's now up to 90%. I believe that Terry's Marathon of Hope started the boost to research for cancer research, and I believe that my success story is a part of Terry's journey back in 1980.
Terry loved Newfoundlanders. They brought him into his home, they fed Terry and Doug, they gave him a place to sleep, and so it's great to be here. It's very emotional.
Have you ever wanted to ride your bike around the entire Bonavista Peninsula? Well, now's your chance. On Saturday, there's going to be the Bon Rexon Grand Fondo, where cyclists will ride the entire peninsula. I'm Jeremy, and I'll tell you more about this coming up. On Saturday, dozens of cyclists are going to hit the road on the Bonavista Peninsula for the Bon Rexton Grand Fondo. Now, what's a Grand Fondo, you're asking? Well, we have somebody who's going to tell us, and that's the president of Bike NL, Julian Kennedy. Julian, thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
So what's a Grand Fondo for people who don't know?
A Grand Fondo is a all-person participation endurance event. Usually takes place on road and is often associated with maybe a professional cycling race. But this gives people, everybody, an opportunity to go out and try to do a long distance event and make a personal challenge for themselves.
So what is the challenge that you're offering up to cyclists in this province that's going to happen tomorrow?
The specific challenge is a 133-kilometre ride around the peninsula from Port Rexton to Bonavista and back down the loop. There's also a 50-kilometre option sort of out and back to Bonavista. Fully supported with snacks and food along the way, and an excellent experience to experience the outdoors.
Now, this event has happened a couple times in the past, and I understand after COVID now it's back to full capacity. So you're expecting between 90 and 100 people, you told me. Have you done this before?
I have. I've done it twice before.
And what's it like to ride 133 kilometers in a day? Because not everybody can do that.
Well, it's a challenge. It's designed to be a challenge, but it's something that's achievable for everybody. There's no race involved. It's up to you to take your own time and pace yourself. Like any endurance event, like a marathon, it's up to you to see, do your best, try to get a better time than last time, and in 5 or 6 or 10 hours time, you'll get to the finish line and enjoy the rewards.
So, sorry, can you repeat, what are the estimated times? Or can I ask you what your times were, the last 2 times?
I think between 5 and 6 hours, and with a few snacks along the way. Yeah.
And you're expecting, dozens of people to do this ride. And where are these people coming from? Are they all coming from St. John's, so they live in the area, or are they coming from all over to take part in this?
They're literally coming from all over. It's quite a well-known event, and we're hoping that, this will continue to grow. I believe there's actually a couple of international people. There's certainly been interest internationally from the States. And in 2018, I came back to do this from Australia, and here I am.
What time is it going to kick off tomorrow morning?
I believe the kickoff is around 7 to 7:30. So it's an early start. It'll be a bit chilly, but we're all, dressed up and hit the road and warm up pretty quickly.
Well, Julian, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for telling us about this.
Thank you.
So the big weather news this weekend is going to be Hurricane Earl. As you can see here, it's going to have some impact on the island of Newfoundland. It's going to bring heavy rain and some high winds. So you can see it's set to sort of start Saturday night, and it will continue on into Monday morning. Now, that will bring heavy rain to parts of the northern and southern Avalon, anywhere between 40 to 80 millimeters. Now, keep in mind, it starts Saturday night and it runs until Monday morning. Now, there could be some localized heavy rainfall amounts. There's also going to be a bit of wind that could be felt as far away as Gander, but there is a wind warning in place for parts of the Avalon, which could see gusts of up to 110 kilometers an hour. So it's going to be wet and it's going to be windy here on the eastern part of the island. But let's just take a quick look and see what's going to happen tonight in the weather forecast. Here we go. So as you can see, 8s all around for much of the island, 7 in Grand Falls and 6 in St. Anthony. And if we look up north, it's a little bit chillier, a bit of rain in Labrador City and 8 degrees and rain in Nain. So this is the future tracker. So this is what we're sort of watching. We're watching this system down here. You can see as it's starting to build early Saturday morning, and that will just intensify as the weekend continues. Now, tomorrow, as you can see, all that green, not good news. So there will be rain. A little bit of rain starting to make its way onto the islands. So it could be some drizzle tomorrow on the eastern part, but that'll pick up on Saturday night. 16 in Bonavista. But as you move across into central Newfoundland, like I said, the wind could be felt like through Terra Nova, Gander, down to Harbour Breton probably. But as soon as you get to Grand Falls, Windsor, you're going to be smooth sailing, and it's going to be lots of sun. As you can see, sunny breaks and high double-digit temperatures there along the southwest coast and the western part of the island. And there's the same thing when you move up into the northern peninsula and into Labrador as well. Now the temperatures will stay a little bit higher, but you could see some rain in and around Labrador as well. So this is what we're looking at here, the future tracker. So this is going to be the worst of it, starting Saturday night at around 8 p.m. and continuing on until Monday morning. And you can see the future tracker there showing you those heavy rainfall amounts. So it will be wet and the wind will pick up, as you can see it coming down along here as well. But this will just affect the eastern part of the island. Now, let's take a quick look at the long range. I'm going to hop out of there. So you can see those temperatures there for the eastern part of Newfoundland. So you're looking at 18 on Monday, 15, 17 next week, which is not bad. And as we move into central, like I said, you'll see some wind effects into Gander, as far as Gander, but it looks like a pretty nice weekend there as well. 20, 21 in western Newfoundland. And if we look up into Labrador, it's going to be a gorgeous Sunday in western Labrador and in eastern Labrador, as you're going to sit at a high of 24 degrees and a little bit of sun.
Let's find out who's celebrating. Happy 55th anniversary to Wayne and Linda King from Grand Falls, Windsor. Wishing Aubrey and Elva Cull of Bonavista a happy 50th wedding anniversary. Happy 66th anniversary to John and Elsie Noble of Dover. Congratulations to Edward and Trifina Gale of Pollard's Point on their 56th anniversary. Happy 53rd anniversary to Job and Myra Blackwood coming up this Monday. Anniversary greetings going out to Gerald and Rosanna Fudge of Ramia. It's their 59th tomorrow. Happy 60th anniversary to Josh and Ruby Shea of St. John's. Congratulations to Ivan and Glenda Penny of Milton. They've been married 57 years. Best wishes to Kevin and Mary Walsh of St. John's, who are celebrating their 58th anniversary. Happy 50th anniversary to George and Donna Hewitt from St. Shots. Happy 70th anniversary to Clayton and Triffy Ford in Gander. Wishing Barry and Joy Slade from Deer Lake a happy 50th anniversary. Happy 55th anniversary to Jim and Kay Von Reason of Mount Pearl. Congratulations to Bert and Marina Short. Today is their 63rd anniversary. Now to some birthdays. Happy 95th birthday to Irene Chalk in Stephenville. Birthday greetings going out to Chesley Howell of Paradise. He celebrated his 103rd birthday this past Monday. Happy birthday to Dorothy Pryor in Paradise. She's turning 96. Happy 90th birthday to Gordon Nichols of Grand Falls, Windsor. Wishing Nellie Noseworthy of Clarenville a happy 90th birthday. Happy 93rd birthday to George William White of Sandy Cove, now living in St. John's. Best wishes to Emma White of Lewisport, who's celebrating her 92nd birthday. Happy 93rd birthday to Cora Penny in CBS. Happy 90th birthday yesterday to Sylvia Roach of Coley's Point. Wishing Mont Lingard of Badger a happy 92nd birthday. Happy 94th birthday to Minnie Sturge of Valleyfield. Happy 92nd birthday to Fraser Clark. Your loved ones say you're like the Energizer Bunny. Happy birthday to Winnie Upshaw of Arnold's Cove, who's celebrating her 90th. Birthday greetings to Leslie Roberts of St. Paul's River, Quebec. He's turning 92. Wishing Marie Lannon of Bishop's Falls a happy 96th birthday. Happy 91st birthday to Edith Hedge of Stephenville. Happy 90th birthday to Goldie Snook from Lewisport. Happy birthday to Toby Abbott from Musgrave Harbour, who's celebrating his 90th birthday. Happy 91st birthday tomorrow to Walter Frost of Hillview, Trinity Bay. Wishing Mary McDonald of Corner Brook a happy 92nd birthday. Happy birthday to Bert Paddock. He's turning 96 tomorrow. Wishing Rita Saunders of St. Lunaire Griquet a happy 90th birthday. Happy 93rd birthday to Eric Saunders, also of St. Lunaire Griquet. Wishing Bertha Johnson of Whitburn a happy 90th birthday. Happy 90th birthday as well to Eula Howell of Norris Point, and wishing Heyman Whalen of St. John's a happy 90th birthday. Cheers to you. Another fine-looking crowd. Congratulations once again. And one quick note before we leave you tonight. Tomorrow morning is the annual Fog Sale, the Friends of the Garden fundraiser. It's happening at the Botanical Garden from 9 a.m. till noon. Well, that does it for us. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great weekend. Good night.